Well, we are now just hours away from former President Donald Trump's keynote address to the Republican National Convention.
Trump will formally accept the Republican nomination for president as he highlights the need for unity across the country. This has been a major theme of the convention this week following Saturday's assassination attempt on the former president. Joining us now from Milwaukee is Florida Republican Congresswoman Cammack. Thank you for being with us, Congresswoman. What are you hoping the former president will say tonight that perhaps last week wasn't as high of a priority?
You know, I think you've been hearing reported throughout the week that President Trump is going to be really focusing on a message of unity, not just bringing the party together, because I'm telling you, here at the convention, this has been one team, one mission all week. This is bigger than the Republican Party. This is about putting America first. And so what the message is going to be is that all Americans, regardless of what box you check, are welcome to join this movement. So I am very excited for President Trump's remarks. The floor has already been electric. I think we're going to be rocking tonight.
Those conventions are always rocking, especially on the last day. Congresswoman Cammack, appreciate you being here and the message that you're sharing about unity. I'm wondering what you think political leaders need to do in this moment to calm the political climate.
You know, we have effectively reached this point, and we're living through this era in politics today. I affectionately call it angertainment. It's effectively saying something crazier than the person before you. And it's a way to get attention, but also raise campaign cash. Both sides are equally guilty of this. And if we really take a step back, we realize that this leads us to a dangerous place, as we saw on Saturday. So how do you stop angertainment? You've got to have cooler heads prevail. Bring the temperature in the room down. But I would also say, in addition to that, take responsibility for past remarks. We've seen on both sides where there has been incredibly incendiary rhetoric that has led us to this point. And so I think acknowledging some of these past remarks and saying, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And I regret my choice of saying that. I think that personal accountability element, that's going to go a long way in really bringing us together as Americans. So I'm hopeful, and I've been seeing elements in the media here in the last week of just that very thing happening.
It takes a strong leader, though, to say something like that.
Well, to your point, Congresswoman, you know, the vice presidential nominee now, Senator J.D. Vance, spoke at the convention yesterday, and he was formerly a critic of Donald Trump as president, but he now has a new tone. He's part of the ticket. What are your takeaways from his speech, and what do you hope he adds to the Trump ticket?
So, you know, I am really excited, and of course, maybe a little biased. We now have a millennial on the ticket. And so for all the talk of having an older set of gentlemen on the ticket, now as a millennial, I've got one of my own. You know, I'm 36, he's 39. I think he's going to bring a lot of energy, tremendous amounts of passion. He is a fiercely articulate and persuasive speaker. But I also love the fact that he represents that Rust Belt of America. He really can acknowledge some of the struggles that those of us who grew up in single-parent households, those who struggled, the blue-collar workers of America. He's also served in our military, and coming from a military family, it means a lot to have someone who served this nation in uniform. He understands how our veterans have been treated in the aftermath. He understands what it's like to serve on the front lines. I'm incredibly encouraged, and I think he's going to bring even more millennials and Gen Zs into the political fold.
And Congresswoman, you mentioned older gentlemen in your phrase at the top of both tickets. Obviously, the conversation on the Democratic side is about President Biden. That's also a big conversation that you Republicans are having as well. Do you want the president to step down?
You know, that's not a decision for me to make.
Of course, but I'm wondering
Joe Biden
from
can make that decision.
Of course, understand that it's not your decision, but in terms of a political strategy, are Republicans hoping that Democrats stay the course or change?
You know, if you think about it this way, the politics will tell us that he should stay on the ticket because there's no way he can beat Donald Trump in November. But as an American first and a conservative second and a Republican third, I can tell you that as an American, the world watched that debate and saw a man who definitely should not have car keys, let alone the nuclear codes. So I think from a standpoint of America collectively, We know that this is a dangerous situation for our nation. Yes, he should step aside. He should not be the nominee because at the end of the day, we're all Americans first. And I don't think that he has the wherewithal at this point in time to make the necessary decisions to protect this nation and to get us back on track. And if there's any indication in the last 4 years, we know that it has been a failure from start to finish.
All right, Congresswoman Kat Cammack, thank you so much.